Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kala and today we are going to be crocheting a fall garland with acorns, pumpkins, and leaves. I will be linking all of the patterns down in the description below, and if you want to know my custom patterns, let me know and I can post those online as well. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Hey guys, today I have a mess to work on. This is supposed to be a garland, but when picking it up one night, I created a mess. So we're gonna detangle this. First, we gotta find an end. Okay, found the end of the orange yarn. I'm gonna work this out. Orange yarn is separated. Yay. Okay, now we're gonna do the yellow yarn. Okay, I found the end. Yellow yarn is separated. Now we have to detangle this mess because it's attached to a yarn ball. I'm gonna look for the end of the garland. Okay, garland is fully detangled. So this is what we have so far. And we're gonna finish up crocheting an acorn so that we can attach it. Here we go. Now I need to go grab my stuffing so that I can stuff the acorn. Here's my bag of stuffing. It's 50 ounces because I create a lot of amigurumi, so I kept getting the, I don't remember how many ounces, I kept getting the regular bag and I kept running out so quickly, so I got a 50 ounce bag. I think that's 50 ounces. Yep, 50 ounces. Okay. Just grabbing a tiny bit of polyfill stuffing and putting it in the acorn, because the acorn doesn't need to be stuffed firmly, it just needs to be stuffed because it's a garland, it's not a toy. Oh, also, I don't know if you've noticed, but I make my amigurumis inside out. So, I make my amigurumis wrong. I go from the inside out. Okay, I just finished crocheting the base of the pumpkin, and so we're gonna cut off a tail so I can sew it shut. Get out my needle. Probably can't even see it. For sewing my pieces shut, I like to just do a whip stitch into every single stitch of the last row. Yeah, and then I pull tight, and then to get rid of this like weird this weird bump on the top, I just thread my yarn through, tug a little bit, and then that's usually secure enough for me, so I just cut off the yarn. That is the base of the acorn done, and now I need to grab my yarn for the top of the acorn. Here I have my brown yarn, so we're gonna work on, let me just scroll. Now we're gonna work on the acorn top. If you would like to crochet along with me, I have linked the pattern to the majority of this garland in the description. I have linked the pattern to the basic pumpkin, which is this one, and the acorns, which look like this. I've linked that pattern in the description down below. I did modify the pumpkin pattern myself, which you can do by just doing random numbers of rows and stitches in each row, and then just sew them up the same way. As easy as that. Okay, I've finished my increases, and now I need to do a just single crochet around. Finish my single crochet around, now I need to decrease. Okay, so that is the end of the round, and since it is a crochet in the round and no joining, I'm going to just go into the next stitch with a slip stitch to give it a smoother finish, and then I'm going to cut off a pretty short tail for sewing because I don't need much. And then instead of weaving in this tail here that's from the magic circle, I'm just going to cut it a little shorter because I trust that it's not going to fall apart. It's probably risky to do that, but okay. Now I'm going to crochet the stem. Now I'm going to crochet the stem real quick. That's the stem. I'm going to cut off a short tail for sewing that on. Pull tight. Okay, now I'm going to sew the top onto the base. And I don't usually pin these things because I just wing it. So, and for this, I am also doing a whip stitch. A whip stitch is where you go in, around, around, around. That's my best explanation for what a whip stitch is, as opposed to a running stitch is where you go in and out. I think it's called a running stitch. Maybe. I don't know much about sewing. What I know about sewing is from FCS, Family Consumer Sciences, which some of you may know of as home ec. Okay, that is the acorn top sewed on, and now I'm just going to go around this stitch a couple times to secure the end. And then I just like to stick my needle through, if it'll go. Just like to stick my needle through, pull the tail out to the other side, and then trim it. There we go. And now to crochet the stem on. Not crochet, now to sew the stem on. So I like to take the first tail, stick it through, and not accidentally pull the stem out. There's the tail, comes out the bottom. I'm going to trim that in a minute, but Then I take the actual tail that I'm using to sew. I stick that through just a little bit, pull it around, stick it through the stem once more, and then stick that out the bottom too. I pull tight, pull up the stem like that, and then I cut off the two tails. And there I have an acorn. So now I take my garland, and I already have enough chains here to attach my acorn. So I just take my crochet hook, stick it through. I try to go for a couple loops, but I think this time I only got one. Yeah, I only got one. And then I just slip stitch it. And then I am putting 20 stitches in between this acorn and the pumpkin after it. Okay, so now that I've done that, I already have a pumpkin made, so I'm gonna stick my hook through the stem here. Slip stitch on, and then do 20 more chains. Ta-da! Okay, now I have to make another acorn because I'm going acorn, pumpkin, acorn. So I'm gonna go make that, and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I've got the acorn, and so we're gonna attach it. And then in between an acorn and a leaf, I just do 15. Okay, I've got 15. And so now I'm going to attach this medium-sized maple leaf that is made from pattern that I made myself. I'll show you the different sizes. So I've got the medium size, which the ends are not woven in yet. I've got the large size, which is following a pattern that I found, which I will link in the description. And then I've got, this is also my own pattern, modified from this one. This is the small maple leaf. And then I also have oak leaves. I have, this one is following a pattern, and then this one is a modified version that is smaller, that I made myself. Which, you guys let me know if you want those patterns. I can definitely post a tutorial on them, but yeah. Okay, I'm attaching a leaf. Same with the pumpkins and acorns. I'm just gonna go through, try to get it under a couple loops. Slip stitch, and then chain 1, 2, 13, 14, 15. You'll notice that the ends aren't woven in yet. I plan on doing that later because I'm impatient, and so the reason that I didn't finish all the pieces before putting this garland together is also because I'm impatient. So that's why I'm making pieces as I go along, as opposed to having all the pieces prepared and creating all at once. Okay, now I'm going to put on this wonky maple leaf. This I made when I was developing my small maple leaf pattern. So you'll notice that it has 6 points, and it doesn't even go all the way around, because I miscalculated I miscalculated the number of stitches required, but I'm still using it. So I've chained 15. I'm going to insert my hook, slip stitch, and chain 15. Okay, and then I do leaf, 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 and then back into the acorn pumpkin. So I'm attaching one more leaf. This is a small golden oak leaf. Okay, and I chained 15, and now it's back to an acorn. I'm gonna make 2 more acorns and a pumpkin because I'm out of pumpkins. And then how many pumpkins? I'm not out of pumpkins. Where's that other pumpkin? I'm gonna go find it. Okay, I'm back. I found another maple leaf and I found the pumpkin. This one is super tiny. Compare the size. Yeah. This is the second pumpkin it made. It looks so silly to me, but I love it, so we're using it. So yeah, I'll be back after I make 2 more acorns. Did I sit on it? Why are these acorns 2 different sizes? Why are they 2 different sizes? Okay guys, I finished both acorns, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these and this tiny little pumpkin on the garland. So I have 3 more leaves. I have a large red oak leaf, a medium yellow maple leaf, and a small orange oak leaf. But I think I'm done with the garland, so I'm gonna just put on 2 more to match the other side, which has 2 on the end, and then we're gonna call it a day. Y'all, I'm so excited. It's done. My fall garland is done. This is so embarrassing. I'm filming this in August. Because in my mind, August is fall. Like, I love fall so much. You don't even know. Like, I love fall. So I'm ready for fall. I'm getting ready. Okay? It's not even funny. Like, I already am on that pumpkin spice. I'm already making fall garlands, leg warmers. As I said before, I have all of the links for the patterns down in the description below. And if you want any of the patterns that I made myself, let me know and I can post those. Thanks for watching.